What's up, guys? So we got a question from Im, who has an unfortunate situation where her gym is closing down in a week and she's not really sure what to do. So her question is, I know you receive a lot of questions on the daily, I do, but I feel a bit lost today. We just found out our gym is closing in a week, and there was a series of events that led her coach to say that they don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to get into those too much for this video. But she says the big concern that she has is that she's going to be losing her jiu-jitsu family because more than likely they're not all going to go to the same place, right? And these are people that you care about. They're people you genuinely care about, the people you train with, you build these relationships with, and all of a sudden now she has either a week to continue training with them and get her goodbyes in, or she has a week to figure out what are we all going to do? Where are we going to go? And she says that she's wondering, what would I do in this situation? Because, a new gym means a new family, but it's not going to be the original. And she's wondering if I found myself in the same situation, what would I do? So, Im, thanks for the question. And you're right, it's not going to be the original, right? And it never can be the original, right? No matter what you do, even if you were at the same gym, it could never be the original that it was, right? Because we're all changing all the time. The gym itself is changing. Us as people, we're changing. I had a conversation a couple of years ago with one of my purple belts. He's a brown belt now, but at the time he was a purple belt. And one day, we were talking at the back, and he was just telling me how much of a funk he was in. And I asked him why he was in a funk, and he said because it didn't feel like the same anymore. It wasn't the same as it used to be. And this was because all of his old battle buddies, the guys that he had began jiu-jitsu with, were gone. One of them passed away, two of them moved away, two of them, quit. I mean, it was just things happened. And he was the only one left out of that crop. And, when he said this, I kind of replied back to him. I said, man, I've been there before. Like, do you think that, like, my experience is the same as it was when I began? Right? I'm the only one left out of the original crop that I started with. Out of all the guys that I began with, actually, take it back. There's one guy left out of all that group. It was me and him. That's it. Those are the only guys that are training out of that group that I was training with. It's not going to be the same. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It can be a beautiful thing, right? But it just is what it is. We're all changing. I heard it this morning. I was listening to a lecture, and the guy was talking about whirlpools, right? And he was talking about the whirlpool because, if you go to like Niagara or one of these places that has this kind of constant whirlpool, you look at it and it's just going, right? It always kind of looks the same, but everything's in flux. It's always changing. It's not the same. It looks like it is. It looks like there's a permanent thing going, but it's different water. The water's coming from different places, and it's always changing. And he said that, us as people and our existence, everything, we're all whirlpools in the tides of existence, right? So we're all changing constantly. We're always in flux. I thought that was beautiful, right? I kept saying it all day long. Whirlpools and the tides of existence. And so with us, right, as people in the gym and everything, that's the way it is. And I looked at him and I said, man, when you were a white belt, what did you think of purple belts? He looked at me and he said, I thought they were untouchable. I was like, you're now untouchable. You're one of those people that when you come in to the gym, they look at you that way. Act like it, right? Like, again, help them out. Be responsible to help them along just like the guys helped you out when you first came in. And, I saw the light bulb kind of go off, and he was kind of like thinking about it. And he's a brown belt now, and he's done a good job of really helping out a lot of the guys, and he's still going strong. So it worked out for the better. He sort of was able to take joy and enjoy it and enjoy the change that was happening, right? Because it isn't going to be the same. And you just have to enjoy it. You have to go along with it. Now, here's a hopeful story for you that maybe will give you a little bit of, give you a bright side to what's going on. Eugene, the jiu-jitsu therapist, if you watch my videos, Adam, one of my black belts, Rich, some other guys as well. Some of these guys came to my gym after a gym closed down several years ago. This is back in like 2009, maybe 2010. I can't quite remember. But these guys came to our gym because one of their gym down the other side of town closed. And I knew these guys that ran this gym, and they told me that the gym was closing. And when they closed, they gave me a call with these guys, let me know that these guys are coming. I was okay, cool. And I talked to them afterwards, and they all said that in the beginning they were kind of a little bit nervous about coming in, but they were excited too because it was new. And it wasn't the same. They were kind of nervous about that, and they were nervous about the people, everything else. But when they came in, it worked out for the best, right? Because these guys have been with me for 8 to 9 years, and they enjoy it. They've gotten better, and they've become an integral part of this gym. And so in that situation, what looked to be a negative in the beginning because of change, right, unknown, it worked out great because they got plugged into a new community, a great community. They love it. They've had good times here, and they're thankful that it kind of happened the way that it did. And so in your situation, what I'm trying to get to here is that change is going to happen. Doesn't matter if you don't want it to. Doesn't matter if you stay at the same gym or if you move gyms. Change is always going to be happening. It's just the way it is. That's life, right? You can choose to resist it and kind of have this nostalgia for the past, which some of us do sometimes, right? It's kind of hard not to sometimes. Like, you think about the good old days, right? Or you can take just the joy out of the present and just go with the change, because change is always going to happen. You're changing day to day, minute by minute, right? You're not the same person that you were just now, right? So take that and go with it. And when you go to this new gym, give it a fair shake. It may end up in a great situation, just like it did for Eugene, Adam, and Rich. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But you don't know unless you give it a fair shake. So I would say, if I was in your situation, I would talk to some of your buddies in the gym, see what gym they're all going to, and see if you guys can find a gym that you can all buddy up together and go to, and see if it works out better for you that way, just like Adam and Eugene and Rich did when they came here. So, Hope that helps. Thank you for your question. I'll talk to you guys next time.